Don't shrink yourself around a crowd you've outgrown. You guys, I saw that message today when I was scrolling through Instagram, and I said, oh my goodness, I need to share this message with my beautiful people here on the Boss of Culture org channel, because it also goes and is in alignment with a question or concern that someone wrote to me today with regards to being placed on a PIP and how do you handle it. So before we get started, I need to clear the air because I'm seeing way too many of you guys go through workplace bullying abuse. And it just absolutely, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the fact that we have all these workplaces out here that, especially during the pandemic, screaming, we need people. We're hiring. And yet, they still haven't learned their lesson on how to treat their employees. In fact, it seems like the situations in the workplace has gotten worse since the pandemic. There are way too many people that are on my YouTube channel commenting that they're dealing with workplace bullying abuse. There are way too many people on Instagram. There are way too many people on my TikTok. Too many people emailing me, calling my hotline, asking to book one-on-one coaching, the one-on-one coaching service that I offer, because they are dealing with workplace bullying abuse. And I have to start the top of this video off before I go too deep into today's message by encouraging you guys to please support the Dignity at Work Act. And that can be found on bossofculture.org on how you can write to your state representative, letting them know that they need to support this act because we need to ensure that employees have rights in the workplace. Number one, if you don't support the Dignity at Work Act, that's fine. There are other acts and ordinances out there that you can support. But right now, bossofculture.org, that is one of the that's one of the bills that we're trying to push through in all 50 states. There is no reason why an employee goes to work for a company and is mistreated in any kind of way. And we need to make sure that just like the companies are protected, the employees are protected as well. So now that I'm off my soapbox with that rant, let's answer your questions. Or question rather, the question of the day. And it's with regards to a PIP. Now you guys, this channel, I'm going to give a disclaimer again, and it's on my site and it's on a lot of these videos. These are my experiences. So my experiences and my success in terms of my experience is my experience. Most of my experience came from me listening to not only my professional team in terms of my mental health team, legal teams, mentors, and listening to my own self, my own gut, and praying and meditating on the moves I should make. You guys, it takes you making that final decision on what you need to be doing. Okay? So, I say all this to say that if you are put on a PIP for whatever reason, in my case, I wasn't getting the hint. And if you haven't seen that video, you need to check that video out. I will link it here or down in the description box below. I wasn't getting the hint in terms of the manager that I was working under at that particular time. I will tell you that the character of managers that in my last 10 years at that particular company that I worked at was absolutely, I do not understand how these people got in leadership. I really do not, because the abuse that I experienced is by far absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable. And again, that's why we need to band together and make sure that we are addressing this, because I'm going to say a couple more things before I get onto that. I'm sorry, you guys, but I have to share this information. I have to share this. This is in my spirit right now and is nagging at me that I have to say this. I have to say the fact that we have the power to make a change. Okay? We don't have to continue to go to work and deal with this. We can document and we can switch departments. We can switch companies. We can do all those things. But at the end of the day, we're going to be leaving our coworkers there to deal with the same mess that we dealt with. And it's not fair to them. So we have to put an end to this. And I know for me, I said, just like I started this channel, just like I started my nonprofit organization to make sure that people had mental health care that cannot afford to have mental health care, and all the services I provide on my website at bossofculture.org. I did this because I wanted to give back. I know what I went through, and I didn't want anybody else to go through this. And that's the reason why I'm doing this emergency video right now, is because I saw someone was in agony right now, and I wanted to make sure that I answered her question. So you guys, we have to help ourselves. We can't sit back and allow ourselves to continue to be mistreated at our jobs. And you don't necessarily have to give your name. I mean, when you do send an email out, you probably do have your name attached to the email address, but there's ways to reach out to your senators and your state representatives to let them know that you're being mistreated at work and they need to support the Dignity at Work Act or whatever act is out there or ordinance. So I had to say all that, you guys. I had to get that off my chest, because that is number one. Number two, if you are involved in the PIP, what I personally did was I documented everything. Every time I went in a meeting, as long as you are a part of a conversation in the state of Michigan, at least at the time when I was going through it, you could record those conversations. Now, if you're recording someone else, check in your state to find out what's legal and what's not legal. But if you're recording someone else having a conversation, that's eavesdropping, and that's illegal. So find out from an employment attorney what is legal or illegal in terms of documentation, whether it be you taking notes of what happened, you recording a conversation that you're a part of, or you printing up emails or what have you, or if someone has a video or something, some kind of surveillance, whatever that documentation is. There are several forms of documentation, and I just named a few. Okay, but me documenting did not really help that particular situation. You see, I met with my manager and a human resources manager, I want to say every week. And every week I walked in there, and this man, just my voice would drive him crazy, my manager at the time. Every little thing I said was wrong. He was looking for things that I did wrong. He was making things up. And I was on double time with the documentation, because he had me on this PIP and he had to justify me being on the PIP. So for you, my friend, or whoever else needs this advice, based on my lived experience, you're going to have to prove yourself double time when you're placed on a PIP. The other thing I want to share is, I don't know of anyone who was placed on a PIP that has survived one. I'm just keeping it 100. That is what I do on this channel. I don't sugarcoat anything. If there has been someone that is watching this video that has survived a PIP, please let me know and comment in the comment section below so that you can share your experience. Because once you're placed on a PIP, it is basically, they have already made up their mind that you are on the chopping block. And they're just giving themselves, they're buying you and themselves time so that, legally, they're going to say, well, we gave her a warning, or we gave him a warning. We let them know what they could be working on to make sure that they improve in their performance, or whatever the case may be. They're going to be looking for, in my case, he looked for every little thing that was in the little boxes that I was supposed to be working on. I was already doing anyway. But he was making sure that there were a couple of boxes that were going to always be read at the end of the meeting. So let me just back up for a second. He used red, yellow, green, right? Green was, you're good, you did this, this, and this. Yellow was, she can use a little bit more improvement, but, this is not much of an issue this week. And then red was, oh, this is absolutely, she's just out of control and she's not working on this. And I was told, I think they gave me, 3 months to get my act together, right? And if I didn't have if I didn't have my act together by the end of June, because I knew it was around the time my son's birthday, my oldest son's birthday was, was on my way out the door. So I documented, and he continued to lie, and it just was a hot mess. And to the point where my anxiety was through the roof. My job had already caused me health issues. I had already been out on leave before. I had already established a relationship with my therapist to help get me through in the first place going to work. And my PCP knew what was going on with me at work. So work was literally making me sick. I had 3 panic attacks on site. I shared that in my initial story on, some of the things that, when I gave the whole summary of my workplace bullying experience. And so it just got to be too much, to the fact that I actually had a panic attack right after one of my PIP sessions, and the human resources manager had to coach me on how to breathe. You guys, for me, it was to the point where it wasn't worth it for me anymore. It was affecting my health. I was sick. I literally was not only sick in the mind in terms of anxiety, depression, PTSD, things I had never experienced in my life, things that I don't have any family history on, but the job made me sick. The sheer bullying, the sheer abuse every single day, day in and day out, was making me sick. So what did I do? I went out on leave, because these people were making me sick. Now, I have another video here on this channel about the do's and don'ts about when you go on leave. And you have to be very careful with that, because I'll tell you this, again, once your name and face is in lights, they are watching you in every little thing that you do. So once you go on leave and you're already on the chopping block, they already know kind of what you're doing. And it goes back to the advice that I've given in the past. You need to be looking for another job. Point blank, period. That has been my experience. And again, where I worked, I don't know of any person that has survived a PIP. What I look at a PIP to be is humiliation on your way out the door. Let me see how much work I can pile on them even more. Let me see how I can treat them like crap and they really don't talk back. It is like having a chokehold on you. It is the last dig before you're out. And I know, as I'm saying this, you are probably like, I know how it feels. I know the feeling, the feeling in your gut. I know the nauseous feeling. I know just the whole sickness, the whole sickening feeling. I get it. But I have to talk straight to you, and I have to be truthful and honest with you. And that is why I went on my rant about how we need to support bills to make sure that people are no longer treated like this. And we have to stand up to these companies and making sure that when we interview with them, just like they're asking us questions, we need to be asking them questions about their practices. We need to be looking them up to find out what their employees are saying about them. You understand what I'm saying? We need to be getting feedback from other people. How are you treated? Are you happy where you are? Looking at their employee handbook without being so eager to take their job. Because yes, everyone's happy and go lucky and nice at the beginning, but it's how they truly treat you. And then for me, you guys, I had seniority. I was there for a long time. And I had some professional managers and I had a great career until I got into the hands of a bunch of amateurs and incompetent people with low self-esteem, and they did not know how to do their jobs. But they tried to gaslight me and telling me that I didn't know how to do my job after they had me training people, after I was getting raises. And then when I wasn't popular anymore, then all of a sudden I couldn't do anything right. So I'm here to tell you, don't stress yourself out. You got to take care of you. And I just kind of, I'm getting a little annoyed with how these people are just continuing to operate this way. It just takes me back to how I felt when I was there, because I know how you guys feel right now. And I just want you guys to be educated and know what the end game is. And the end game needs to be you looking out for you at the end of the day. If it means you taking a pay cut for a second, and maybe working someplace that's less desirable, only for you to, get away from the drama, you may have to do that for a minute. Is it you stepping out on faith? Absolutely. That's what I did. But what they want to see you do is they want to see you scratching. They want to see you begging for your job, only for them to get rid of you anyway. So don't delay the inevitable. If they put you on a PIP, Continue to do your job. Go to work. Hold your head up high. Don't act like you are, don't let them know that it's getting the best of you. You can do the crying before you go. Dust yourself off, and deal with it while you're there. But get a plan B and make sure that you always put you first, because I'll tell you, I thought I was going to get through it. I thought I was trying to look at the glass half full when I was there. And when you have a corrupt management and human resources department like I did, and when no matter what you do, and it was all about me apologizing to someone, because at the end of the day, that's what they wanted to do, was humiliate me or me sleep with someone. Come on. Look out for you. Listen to your gut. And don't share this information. What you're going through right now, your coworkers don't even need to know, because they act like they're your friends. They see what you're going through. And are they speaking up for you? No, because they're thinking about their jobs. And it's cool. I understand it. I get it. But at the same time, just keep your information to yourself. Move in silence. If you're gonna make a move, move in silence. So I think I've done enough rambling at this point. You guys know that I'm very, very passionate about this topic. I'm pretty sure a lot of employers, the ones that aren't doing right by their employees, are quite irritated with my content. I've been kind of getting some feedback lately from people I'm pretty sure are either bullies or are employers that don't want you to know this information. I don't care, because I have the power now to speak up for people, and I'm doing what I want you guys to do when you get to the other side. I need you guys to join the movement. I need you guys to make sure that people are going to work and being treated fairly. These people don't have power over you. They don't have power over themselves. See, when they come to work and treat you like crap, that's because they aren't unhappy with their lives, right? They're not the man or the woman at home or out in the streets, And I already shared with you guys what happened when I ran into HR on the street, how she was big and bad in the office, but when she saw me at the grocery store, because we live in the same community, she was running with that grocery basket, because she knew that she wasn't wearing she wasn't protected at work. I wasn't going to do anything to her, but I love to look at people, and my face just says it all. And so I think she gathered that she knew that she was wrong and everything that she was doing. And when you're living wrong, you're doing things wrong, that karma comes in and sees you. And then when you see someone out in the street, then you can't look them in the eye. So continue to be a person of integrity. Continue to hold your head up high and document. I hope this video has been helpful to someone out there. I'm Kristen Peoples with bossupculture.org. Make sure that you visit the site for all the resources, you guys. Everything that I was looking for when I was out there dealing with this, when I didn't even know what the name of this was. I just knew that I was being mistreated. But now I know it's workplace bullying abuse. It is abuse. It is domestic violence at work. Just put it to you that way. They know that you need to provide for yourself and your family. A lot of you guys got student loan debts. Don't even let me I'm not going to even go into too deep into that topic, but they know you need to pay your bills. And they do this because they know that you have to be there. But no. You don't have to deal with it. There's always a workaround. You got this. You're smart, and someone else will value you and respect you and treat you with the dignity and respect that every employee should be receiving when they go to work. So for you employers out there that are mistreating your employees, this is the reason why you can't retain good talent. May you look in middle management to find out what's really going on. Because I'll tell you this, you risk a lot by keeping those people in your company. You risk your reputation, you risk litigation, and you risk your business model altogether. It's not worth it. If it's your friend, sit them down and talk to them and put them in line, because it is not worth people being sick and mistreated. There are people committing suicide because they're being mistreated at work. And you guys, let me tell you something about that too. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is worth you. Nothing's worth it. Nothing's worth that. So take care of you. Please do. From the bottom of my heart, I love you. I'm Kristen Peoples. I want to see you win. I want to see companies win too. I want everyone to win. Everyone wants the same thing. Let's give it to each other. I love you. Until next time, take care. Bye.